It's been a minute. I've been moving, but I'm excited to be here and excited to do a reading for you. I really felt like today we just needed to come in and see what the cards have to say. I'm not going to ask a question. I'm not going to try to lead it somewhere. I just want to see what it has to say. So let's get going. I've got a few decks here to grab from intuitively, including my own deck. Let's start with the Earth deck here. Okay. This is a new beginning that you don't need to make happen. You don't need to push. You need to allow. Things are unwinding and unfurling and unfolding in the way that they are meant to. You're taking some time to regain your vision. Maybe you've been in the midst of some kind of rebirth. Maybe you've been changing a lot of things in your life, but whatever it might be, it's time for you to feel your way through this new beginning and not logic your way through to the extent of forcing anything. Let's see if this deck has anything else to say here. Okay, let's grab this one. This new beginning might mean that you have a sense of, things might be a little wobbly. And they want you to know that you're protected in this wobbliness. We've got 5-5 here. This is how do I want to say this? It's hard to describe. You're unlocking a level of your internal magic, your internal power. And the transition period in getting there is a little bumpy, but it doesn't mean that you should assume that things aren't going your way. This is good chaos. This is productive pain. You're rising above old insecurities, old anxieties, and you're raising your power. It's like, I see this as like coming up from the root chakra or from kind of this like stable foundation at your base. And you're pulling this power up that's maybe been sitting a little dormant. And I feel as though the changes that have happened to get you to this new beginning have made you feel a little powerless, a little hopeless. And all I can say from this reading is that like there's really nothing to fear here. It's unfolding. I don't think there's anything you need to do or anything you could do to make it happen differently than the way it's supposed to happen. Yeah, this is destiny. I think that this is something that you have been very committed to. Maybe this has been a lot of internal work that's gotten you to the point of being able to do this. But you're here. There's this loyalty, this commitment. And because of that commitment to getting yourself to this point, abundance is on the way. There's nothing you need to do to make it come to you. This is a safe space to do the work. We're transmuting things. The last little pieces of your old life are transmuting now. You're at the climax. You're kind of like at this peak, this full expression of power, this moment of culmination. Yeah, this isn't the way you move forward isn't something you're going to logic your way into. You're not going to make it or force it in your physical reality. This is being still and receiving. So be strong. Be kind of rooted in your strength and in this power, like we were talking about before. And beware of how, just because maybe in your physical world things don't look the way that you think a new beginning should look, or it doesn't look the way that you were expecting, Make sure that you're not kind of falling into an old pattern of scarcity or lack because you don't see it in your material world yet. This is something that you've been working on for a long time, and it's deeply, deeply rooted. And the blossoms have started. It's just not quite above ground yet. Chaos is the most potent point, and that's how we get to gold. It's how we get to something rare, something to be cherished, to this vitality. Destiny is shifting in the darkness, and you're going to see abundance coming in little bits and pieces. It's not going to be like this truck backing up and dumping a bunch of stuff on you. It's going to be these bits and pieces coming to you. We have this gold here. Look right here. I want to point out, look at the gold. The gold's here, and let this serve as kind of a spark of hope for you. If you've been feeling hopeless or helpless, or like things aren't happening the way you expected or at the speed you wanted, things are happening. Destiny shifts in the darkness. You just aren't seeing it. Things might feel very out of your control right now, and that's okay. That's that old pattern. Just make sure that you're not trying to control the uncontrollable. Be conscious of the way that you're interacting with maybe the more erratic feelings that come from feeling out of control, because what you need right now is to surrender. Right now is for surrendering into something bigger than yourself, the bigger picture that's unfolding, and you're going to see the bigger picture more clearly soon. This feeling of out of control, this things not going the way you've imagined, don't let that lead you to neglect yourself. Right now, just nurture yourself. Rest until you see the bigger picture. And that doesn't mean you have to be still. That doesn't mean that you have to be, you don't have to don't do anything. It just means don't try to move the bigger needle because you don't see what you're moving toward yet. There might be this kind of like romanticized idea of how things are supposed to go. And when we see the maiden reversed, I'm always going to think there's a little bit of delusion, illusion. There's a story we're telling ourselves about what's happening, but it's not real. So wait until you see the bigger picture, because any story you tell yourself about what is happening is not real. Allow this time of rest, of recuperation, of prepping for the next leg of your journey to lead you into deeper self-love and acceptance. This desire to control, this story wrapped around the situation because you can't see what's in the darkness, is a shadow pattern, a shadow rotation, a shadow pattern. And all you need to do is to acknowledge that it's there. Hold some space for the part of you that feels the need to fill in the blanks, to take a deep breath and surrender into not knowing. If you don't, you will burn yourself out. You're going to overextend yourself. You just need to rest because you're missing, God, this couldn't be more in my face. You're missing details and information right now. You'll know the moment the thing happens. And until then, rest, breathe, be. Don't get stuck up into your wounds, into, fear of connection. Be vulnerable with yourself and others about how hard this new beginning, you're birthing something. And birth is not comfortable, but at the end, it's beautiful, usually. See if there's any last messages here, but I feel like we have a pretty clear message. And that message is that you don't see everything that's happening in this new beginning now, but you have committed and dedicated yourself to something super, super cool that's coming to fruition. You have to trust that it's coming to fruition and that abundance is coming to you for your commitment to this journey, even if you're not seeing it in your physical reality. Any story you try to tell yourself about what's happening right now will only be based in illusion because you can't see in the dark. A little mystery is a positive thing. So acknowledge where there's maybe some imbalance, where you're not having good boundaries with yourself, and go within to tap into an abundance mindset. Don't let your fear of the unknown, your fear of the dark, prevent you from blossoming with this new beginning, because it's here. Step into that abundance mindset, act like it's already here, and take some time to rest before it really shows up, because it's on its way. I hope this was helpful. I'm so glad to be back. It's been almost 2 months, and I finally got my space set up enough to get going. So I will see you again next week.